What other word should there be? Make up a new word for it, Bruce.
You're just ignoring it. They're trying to hide it under the word of one of the senses so that it's hard for you to talk about. My emotions around a feel dot. Like a green sand. Wrapping my feelings around like a meatball.
A meatball.
It was a... Yes. Is it doing recording?
It's doing the recording.
For an hour already. I thought it was just be for minutes. Oh, it's moving. I can see it. But there's also vocabulary. But sentence structure and vocabulary is the same as wigglies. As movement. Like your language structure. You can feel and see and hear language structure. And but feel it was language melted in the tone vibrations to your language breakdowns for the structure. Feel that. No, for your own feelings. You feel it nibbling on me. They were pinching my skin. Wow. It's like alien sound. But it's memories. So, memories of what you remember, imagine veering. Like when I was a kid, and then I heard a sound, and so then I imagined what they would be afraid of. Like I heard a woo, and then I imagined, but now I'm in the prison and remembering, imagining. And also in the present, I can feel the dog wiggle parts. And I can see you with my eye and vision also. And there's movement of the dogs over time. And sound. But also memories and imaginings and... Don't throw up. It's okay if he throws up. Doing things that matter in the... taking care of responsibility is the same as vibrations. Do you have where the the concept of responsibility is the same as a vibration? Just the concept of the detachment. So all of those parts of my brain are the same as all the other sensations. I know it looks like it hurts sometimes because I get more fleshed, but it doesn't hurt. It's like when you laugh too much, but it's fine. You're not hurting yourself. You're just laughing so hard. You're feeling with the feeling. And he burped out and then decided to not go on. And he decided to say Shiva instead. Because he did. It's called Shiva. Shiva. It's the boot. He was saying and it says but that's not the religious part. It says I am Shiva, but that's so comedy, and there's a nose ring in the statue part, but there's seriousness and there's things that don't match. like the name and the seriousness and statues. Like seriousness and statues are not supposed to be compared to each other. Like the seriousness of is the description I put on religions, like a serious religion that has Shiva in it and it sounds like that's a violin and a red light with a little membrane that I can see. I am Shiva, yes. But I know that's not I'm not making fun of the religions. But it's okay, it's experience. I know. But I don't want anyone to think I'm making fun of because I think I know it's real. Fine. It's okay. I was just telling him how it's connected. So hearing. Oh. And I was seeing you can see the rose. It looks like a rose on the middle of the thing, but also you can see patterns and your brain putting together visual patterns and also the concept of religion and societal and expectations and stuff, but also there's that deep and there's loudness and there's feeling on the feeling under you vibrations but you can location is you can perceive location under you as the same as memories and movement. So all the qualities of perception can be the same. So that's really foundational, broken down pieces. Hey. I know, that's okay. It's doggies. Yeah. But so time, or at least the perception of time is perceived as the same as all the other senses, like your five senses. Pumpkin. But also, other than your five senses, there's ideas of like concepts of imagining how things could be theoretically, but that's different from emotions. And then you can combine them, like imagining emotions separately. There's volume and seeing. Also, you can have your eyes open or closed, and that's different from time. That's different from doing a thing. So responsibility and the concept of responsibility is just another thing. And oh, it's like all the dimensional. I thought it was all the space-time dimensions. But I forgot about that. There's other sensations. But other than all the space-time dimensions and other than the space-time dimensions, that exist when you're on, in micro space. for getting. Yeah, it's all true. So there's the concept of the little micro space where they do like in between the Planck's and stuff, and what's in and the smallest you can break it out, and then there's space time and the dimensions and what's in between that. But in between the space-time dimensions, the unmeasurable from our perspective that you can see, but it sometimes opens up as feelings or emotions or ideas of things or visions or of things or physical feelings of things or depth. But it's like depth is the same as physical touch qualities, but that makes it be the same as actual space-time bits that we're trying to find out open up the smallest finite measurable amount. And instead of discovering that what's on the higher dimensions, it just became one with also smelling and feeling and all they were free to become mixy smooshy, and it's the same. So logic is the same as putty feelings, and volume smells. A volume religion is the same. It all is smushy, melty, and words of the foundation, but history and emotions and instead of traumas being conceptual, or there's your trauma emotional piece that you can compartmentalize, and then separately the academic space-timey to try and figure out that, or use logic to describe or categorize anything with a science, to measure things or say things with your language, which is organized words but not measurable with physical lengths, but you can measure with patterns of your language and a little bit with your brain. So you can measure brain things, but also some of it is just you gotta see the patterns of what the language is, that there's what they're saying, what they do, but then there's also there's like volume and experience and religion and sound and the change of sound over time. And expectation. Man, sound can change over time. But that's separately there's expectation, and separately there's issues with expectation for your whole life experience, but also with music. But all because what were you gonna expect with the music or feel with these? You can see they're like most of them are regular, but this one's like green. It's like this one's a double puff, but most of them are regular. But this one is a double puff, but it's not because it's sick. It's just how it is, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Was it minutes or hours? It was. See, it's fine. There's the duck. But having differences in like the duck and the dog and trying to discuss them being differently can melt and also be. You're like, oh, it's one, and the perception, and so that perception quality can melt away. So then I'm just describing different perception qualities and of physical things or reality science. But then there's also feeling things, and that's not reality science, that's just emotions. Where do emotions fit on reality space-time physically? Or an experience. But an experience is change over time, and that the vibration of feeling it change over time. Any change over time can be like a vibration, and you feel it. But the idea of all of it, the feeling and the movement and seeing people, but also you doing any of it, and also a dog being separate from a chew toy, being separate from you. But you're talking about separation, but then there's also feeling and smells and all the senses, but then there's also the concept. And there's movement and depth and the language things. A movement of individual pieces in space moving over time, separate, like this separate different things over space-time moving, or the idea of them possibly being separate as they move. But that whole concept can be perceived as the same as the fish eyeball. It is a fish and its eyeball, and size, that it's the same as the size of the dog over time. That's fine. We need indemnity. That's fine. So size and sound and depth and emotion and senses and time and space-time and history and blinking and words and experiences and seeing things. But also, even if you don't see them, you can experience them. And it's the one thing. And there's the idea of asymmetry and seeing asymmetry. And with volume. Like, asymmetric doesn't have a volume. Asymmetry doesn't have a volume. Or a color. Or like, religion doesn't dog a fish color that has a smell. Like the fish eyeball doesn't have a smell. I'm not trying to be silly for entertainment. It's for explaining. That you can experience feeling and words and emotions and self. You can feel the blood vessels and the qualities on the roots of your teeth and with your tongue against the smoothness. Also at the same time, there's volume and coming from him, but there's also imagining, the idea of imagining that there was volume from somewhere else, or if it's really even coming from there, but then imagining what could be producing thing like imagination. So even though there's not really a thing like a guy standing over here making noise, even though it sounds like it, but there's not what it sounds like or what it describes. There's like what I can imagine made it. A screaming guy standing over there. No, but that's just an imagination explanation for a sound that you can also have a a feeling explanation for what you're feeling, but you can crisscross them with sounds and tastes, but then you can just you have your journey of experience over time, and then you try to explain it and make sense of it. But that's organizing things. You did your finger flickers, but then after you put it down,
It's still there.
yeah, I could still see the movement flickering on your face, but instead of it just being a movement, there was a color difference, and it was like a little slit opening of like black space-time in your cheek. But that's different than movement, and it's different from memory. It's different from color, and it's different from feeling fuzziness currently. It's like describing the feeling of fuzzies only describable when compared to other feelings. But when you're talking about that dimension of separation of feelings being spread out, so you're like, oh, this one's fuzzy, but only compared to, because there's not fuzzy things. But that's one dimension that you're trying to experience. And then you're like, oh, also separately, there's memories and feelings and the concept of space-time, but also actual space-time.